Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Toolkit, episode 12 to be exact. I am your hostess, Shamali Newton.
And I'm your host, Devon Cornelius, and this is Entertainment on Lockdown. We're here with St. Kitts and Nevis's two most famous DJs, persons who would have been involved in the entertainment industry for some time. We have DJ Flames, and we also have EK, the real right. So we're going to give them some time to, tell us a little bit about themselves, what they do, and, the reason as to why they're here. DJ Flames.
I just want to say a special hello to everyone. My name is Dwayne DJ Flame Ferguson, and I'm a radio DJ, club DJ, also a promoter as well. I started off in the dancing industry about 2000 or so, and then from that I transitioned over into the DJ arena, where I started out MCing and being the technical guy for TNO Sounds, and from that I move on to building my own sound over the years to Mad Squad Sounds and Mad Squad Promotion in 2012, where I hosted a series of events like threesomes, back to school, schools outs, and various events in Nevis and St. Kitts as well. And also in 2015, I came up with an idea to try put a platform to help build the entertainment industry in St. Kitts, where I did what you call our Entertainers Award, the MSECA Awards. It was rough, but it came out successfully. But based on the cost factor, I have to pull back, so it did not continue annually, which I'm looking to restart that as well. So I've been in the business for almost 20 years, living here in St. Kitts for 23 years.
Awesome. The real right?
All right, blessed love everybody. Affectionately known as EK, lawyer named Maurice Flanders. Forget that part, yeah. Entertainment. What can I say about entertainment? For most of my life, as I could remember, started singing in the church as young as 8, 9, 10, 11, thereabout. Went to CFB to try to get a little education and become an architect. After that, couldn't draw a plan. So I decided to use my talents to go into entertainment, which was about 2001, 2002. Started working at a radio station, and then from there, my entertainment career took on a life of its own. I moved from that radio station to another radio station, and then to where I'm at right now with Freedom. DJing, can't remember the year because it's been so long in terms of a club DJ. I've also been a singer in numerous bands in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tornado, I think, was the first. And then I transitioned to Small Axe. And after Small Axe, in between Small Axe, it was Kessie 5. Still with Kessie 5, no longer with Small Axe. I have my own entertainment business where I offer MCing services, DJ services, as well as system rentals. And I think that's about it in a nutshell for entertainment.
Awesome. So, Ike, I mean, for someone who would have been involved in entertainment for a very long time, I mean, you would have traveled to different countries, and so you understand how entertainment is not just here in St. Kitts and Nevis, but across the region. My question to you is, tell us, how has that been? So, I mean, apart from giving us the intro of how you got involved in entertainment, how has it been over the years, managing the different personalities, as a radio show host, as a DJ, as someone who was a radio personality? Tell us.
First I got to start off by saying that, personally, apart from the entertainment, I'm a more shy and reserved kind of person. Yeah, mellow, and I don't like big crowds and that kind of thing. But going into radio, I mean, I'm the kind of person, I don't like to be stagnant. I don't like to be second best to anybody. So when I came into radio, there were already multiple personalities and multiple radio stations across the region who were already established. You had names like Sugar Bowl, Sensia, JGP, you name it, they were there. JL, L Green, Lord Black. These are the kind of caliber of people that were already in radio when I came in. So I had to carve out my own little niche inside there to be separate and apart from them. So I had to create an alter ego or identity, so to speak. So I took a little piece of all of them and I dashed some sexuality on it. And out of that came the radio personality EK. But I already had EK already because I came with that name. That name came from playing basketball when I was young. I was slim them time and sexy and so. So I had to do that in order to be relevant and stay ahead of the times and also to be cut above the rest, so to speak. I also took on the talk show hosting, discussing serious issues and what's not. So I also add that to my repertoire. And being a club DJ, I then had to take it to a next level because as I told you, I don't really like crowds and I'm more shy and reserved. So then I had to take on a different persona to be a club DJ and to be successful at it. And it wasn't that difficult managing it because when the lights go off, as the song Damien Marley sang, when the lights go off, promoters gone home, you have a life after that. The life home with the kids and the wife. I was married then. So I found the balance because my entire life has always been about balance. When you find balance in anything, you basically find peace, and once you have peace, you can then progress and get to that next level and charge your course and what's not. So balancing personal life was not really per se that difficult because once the people around you understands who you are apart from your entertainment persona, the life is basically easy.
Awesome, awesome. What about you, DJ Flames?
Well, for me personally, as DK said, a lot of people don't understand. Some of us creative are very reserved and we don't like crowd, even though everything that we does attract a crowd. For me personally, I was looking to find myself. I used to be in the clubs dancing, doing all kind of things. I mean, I love entertainment. It's a part of my blood. I don't know if it's a Jamaican thing, but it's in my blood. And I was in the entertainment where like we have to perform a certain way. And with TNO Sound, I used to be the MC and going in, going out, and you go home. You go to an event 8 o'clock. You're going home when sunrise, and the hype and everything. And then I reached another stage in my life where I said, you know what, I get in kids now. I got to act more responsible. So I take a different approach. As we would say, the passa style and stuff like that, I had to rest it aside. And with me resting that aside, it's actually give me a hard blow, in the end, because one thing I could say about Kiddishan people, when they're accustomed to give them something and they're enjoying it, and you decide you'll give them something different, you know what, you all come with that. So, I take my blows them and try to rebuild myself. And when I move on from TNO, I build Mad Squad Sounds and Mad Squad promotion with the likes of DJ Chris and Dads as the MC. And Chris and Dads used to be the combination that who will normally go and do the passa and it's not a bad thing because in the entertainment industry there's a market for everything. So if you're into the passa into the classy or the upscale, you're gonna find DJs in different category. And then Dads and Chris decide they're going to move on. And then have to rebuild again. And I said, when I'm going to rebuild, I'm going to take a different market where I'm going to go to try to attract corporate events, upscale events and stuff like that, more reserved, the students and stuff like that. That took a toll on me for a while as well. So I just relax and, playing with an MC and playing by yourself give you, you get complacent and you just cut and paste. And I had to relax and I realized that, I need to go back to the drawing board. So what I did, I went and start to say, I'm going to get certified in everything I do. So I go and I get a business license through the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. I go and register with Culture. And then I did some courses online from Pint Blank Music School where they teach you beat matching, different areas of music and get certified. And after that, I end up decide that, you know what, let me take it a bit further, and then I obtained my Caribbean Skill Certificate as a radio DJ and also a club DJ. So what I did now, I turned myself into more of what I want to say a upscale or a high-end DJ, but more of a more diverse, where that I know for sure where I'm going and playing. I don't have to play one set of music all night. So I started to change my lifestyle, and I decided, look, entertainment in some entertainment area, you got to do this, you got to do that. But how about you try to do something where that your lifestyle and your personal life and your business can become one. So that is why I go from where I was to more reserve and stuff like that, and it's doing good for me.
Nice. So, Ike, as Devon said earlier, this episode is dubbed Entertainment and Lockdown. What is your take on that?
Entertainment and lockdown. You're referring to the pandemic, right? All
Yes.
right. Well, when this pandemic hit, the people that were hit first and hit the hardest and the last to be returned and the least to be helped was entertainment. There is a culture, I'm not sure if it's just in St. Kitts and Nevis or in the Caribbean in the wider world, where entertainers, service providers, and promoters are not seen, quote unquote, as a real job. But if you look at the numbers and you see how much the entertainment industry around the world is actually worth, you could even look as close as America. Just look at the hip hop, rap entertainment industry and see the billions and trillions of dollars that that makes. You look at sports entertainment, you look at the Super Bowl and you see how much a 30-second ad just to show at the Super Bowl is worth, which is like $500,000 or sometimes even $1.2 million just for 30 seconds. And sorry, if you look at the amount of monies that is actually in entertainment, I still don't understand why is it people see entertainers and creatives and service providers as not a real job. Because we make some serious money. But the attitude towards us is not really the best. And I think for closer home in St. Kitts and Nevis, you saw a situation where we, it actually showed the inconsistencies, it showed the flaws, it shows the attitude towards entertainment and the structure and the fixing that it actually needs. And so I think this was good for us in a sense because out of this, it showed the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and the government ultimately that entertainers and creatives and service providers are just as important as doctors, lawyers, and teachers. Because people need some form of entertainment. It doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be lewd. It can just be some simple jazz music, it can just be a movie. Entertainers, service providers, and creatives are important. So out of this now, you would have seen the government taking a serious interest in providing support and structure to the entertainment industry. And I think out of that, for me, is the most positive. Yes, we lost some money. Yes, we hurting because we bills them still coming, but we ain't gonna source of income. But at least we know going forward into the future that people now are understanding the importance of entertainers and creatives and are now going to put something in place so that our industry here in St. Kitts and Nevis, our culture, could have some injection of life into it and make it more robust and profitable for us as entertainers and creatives.
And what are some of the things that you think they should put in place for entertainers?
Well, the first step was the conversation that was had between Amali and the Prime Minister, where he asked some important question, who the lights belong to, the cameras, the drums, the stage, the whole thing. And the response that Amali gave him, to me, I always laugh at it. Amali told the Prime Minister, well, they belong to the people who you see here, the young people, and they did it all without your help, meaning the government. So I think it was then that a light bulb went off in the Prime Minister's head that, hey, this is an industry that we also need to pay special attention to, not just the industrial, not just the tourism, not just infrastructure, but pay some close attention to this. So out of this, he announced that there would be a ministry of entertainment. Now, that ministry will be responsible for creating the atmosphere to make a more robust entertainment industry and sector. So out of that now, we had to get together as entertainers and creatives and service providers to more or less put our concerns and what the issues that we are facing on paper to present to the ministry as a form of guideline as to how they will operate and how they can cater to our needs. And out of that conversation came a need for an organization that would speak on the behalf of all those people and put those concerns in a more formal way and present it to the government going forward so that they can know, because they don't know, obviously, because only when you're in entertainment you understand the struggles that we face. So out of that came this whole PACE thing and the Ministry of Entertainment. And so going forward, after the election of the PACE executive, what we intend to do as an organization is to get the members together, find out what their concerns are, and have conversations and form sort of a advisory committee to the Ministry of Entertainment as to how they can put a structure in place, put things in place in order to make our industry more robust and viable.
You know, go ahead.
Yes, and before I get into pace, DJ Flame, I would like to know your take on the entertainment and lockdown.
Oh, entertainment and lockdown. It's a hard blow. You know, I resigned from a company I was working for 13 and a half years in 2017, and entertainment was my survival. That's the only thing I was doing, providing DJ service for various places, bars, and stuff like that. For me, personally, you know, this is not political, but unity is strength. I think as entertainers too, we drop the ball in a lot of ways where that when I'm a big lobbyist when it comes to togetherness and stuff like that with entertainment, anything. We drop the ball when you know, EK does be on the radio sometimes saying that nobody's at the table. But I think in order for us to sit at the table, we have to have a receipt sometime. Because we as entertainers, we go in, there's no laws in place for a DJ or for a promoter. Someone can just get up and do an event. I think in this lockdown, if there was where it was mandatory for a promoter or a DJ to get a license, every year you're going to pay 200 and something dollars for your sporting and entertainment license. I think if we have enough down there at inland revenue, we could have gone and have a conversation. So, I mean, I know for sure EK have his business license. I have one as well. We can't speak for much more entertainers. So the lockdown is going to affect those who are doing the dues, who paying the taxes, paying the social security. But those now who haven't done anything still making nice. So to me, entertainment and lockdown could have been much better off if we did have that collectiveness where majority of us did have a business license. The government in St. Kitts now is talking about entertainment, which is good, but at the same time, we as entertainers still have to come together and work for the same. No matter whether EK is in this, I am in that, our next DJ is in that, our band is in this, that, all of us have to meet at the table, and the table is entertainment, and all of us work towards that to get it off the ground. So next time around, if something like this happens, we have to be wondering and scratching our head how we're going to survive, because we're contributing more to the economy and to our family. But it have to be a 360. Yeah, we go out and get paid. I mean, yeah, we get well paid as entertainers, but we're not putting back nothing into the industry as tax. Yeah, we pay our bills and stuff like that. We feed our family, but it also have to be tax, and it's a 360. However, pays come on board and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to take this time out now that, you know, instead of you out there wondering what it's going to be like, or, you know, I'm waiting to see how it's going to turn out, go and sign up, go and pay the money, because at the end of the day, we are only good in numbers. If we have 300 entertainers in St. Kitts, even if we have 155 sign up and pay, it will be enough for us to go and have a conversation with the government to get back things. So that's my advice. The lockdown teaches a lot of things, and I think every entertainer out there should realize and wake up and say, hey, it's not about me doing good, I doing good, or she doing good. It's about all of us doing good at the table of entertainment.
And you know, DJ Films, I'm happy you spoke about being registered as a business, and Ike spoke about it earlier. I mean, for those persons who are not registered, Ike, this question is for you. I mean, in your capacity as vice president for PACE, would PACE provide some sort of guidance in terms of assisting persons to become registered, because this discussion is about entertainment on lockdown, and so those persons who are in the entertainment industry, they basically would have been left out from the stimulus package, because as you said, if you're not registered as a business, I mean, you're not really paying back into the country, and so you're not paying your taxes, you're not paying social security, all of those stuff. And so would PACE provide the opportunity for entertainers to become legitimate?
The short answer to that question is yes. As an organization, the mandate of the organization is not only to lobby on behalf of the entertainers and creatives and service providers, but is also to educate them, inform them, and introduce them to the best business practices. Throughout my career, I have always sought to inform my peers about the best business practices, contracts, how to have negotiations and discussions with people who you want to sell your services to, how you can make yourself better at what you do, investing in yourself. When the whole pandemic hit, a lot of DJs and entertainers reached out to me when the stimulus package was announced. And I asked them one simple question: do you have a business license? Were you registered with Social Security as a self-employed person and paying contributions towards Social Security? Because at the end of the day, you have to think down the road. Yes, we do make a handsome amount of money, but if you don't reinvest that money, if you don't save that money, then when tough times come and you can't perform, what are you going to rely on? If you're going to entertainment full time and you don't have a regular 9 to 5 job. Now, I am not the kind of person who relies on one thing. I want money coming from all directions. So I make myself marketable in all fields. If I can't get to DJ on the radio, I'm going to learn how to produce music, produce ads. If I can't get to do that, then I'm going to go on a talk show, get some sponsors, and do this. If I can't do that, I'm going to go drive bus. So if nothing going on over there, I'm doing something over here. And this is something that I've always preached and taught the people who came around me, and also said it to people who are in the industry, the young ones who are coming in. This is how you do things. This is how you do. And I would go to them one by one, because I don't believe that sometimes you need the public chastising of people. You approach them. And enough DJs will tell you that when I come to them on a serious note. This is what you need to do in order to survive in this business. And so, PACE, to me, will be an organization that can get all of its members in line with the best business practices, so that when we go to the government, we can then say, here now, our members are up to scratch, they have the best practices, they have been certified, they are following the best procedures. These are laws that you can put in place to help our industry to grow. These are the things that we need in order to assist us, because we're not just looking for a handout. Because St. Kitts and Nevis people are hardworking people, first and foremost. There are some lazy people among us, yes, but the people who work very hard, they want to see an industry where they can thrive. So we're not just looking for a handout. So this organization will provide that platform for its members. Because it's one thing to go and beg for something, but if you offer nothing in return, you can't get something. So you have to have your business license, pay your taxes, be registered with Social Security as a self-employed. Even when you have a 9 to 5, every little bit helps. So yes.
Awesome. So, I mean, as we're here talking about PACE, Professional Association for Creativity and Entertainment, what is the reason and the idea behind PACE? I mean, what is your or who is your target audience? I know it's entertainers, but you have different kind of entertainers. You could tell us about that?
Well, we didn't seek to just isolate it, because we know, as part of entertainers and creatives, as the name suggests, and service providers, we understand that there are different disciplines across. There's visual arts, performing arts, and so all those people can be a member of PACE, and we lobby as a block to get that industry more robust. So we don't want it to be a situation where we only cater to people who sing or people who dance. We want all performing, all performance, all creatives, all service providers, even the promoters. Because what we find is that there has been a disconnect between the different disciplines. Dancers don't understand what it is a DJ needs to carry out his functions. A promoter may not understand what a dancer needs, what a photographer needs, what a filmographer needs. They just don't know. And so, what we will seek to do is to bridge that gap, bridge that divide, and make everybody understand what it is it needs for the other person to function. Because most of the time you hear confusion between promoter and artist, because the promoter is only seeing things from his point of view, and the artist is only seeing things from his point of view. And so you have that disconnect. And so what we are seeking to do, or what we'll seek to do, is to educate each and every fraction. Make yourself aware of what it is. I myself find working with other people very easy, because if I see a man come here and set up a camera, I want to know what he doing over there. You understand? If I see a drummer come and set up, I want to know what the drummer doing. I want to know what the drummer needs to make his job easier. If an artist approach me as a promoter, I need to understand where he's coming from, what he does to get his material to the quality that it is, and what he's seeking to have in return for that. You know, and then you still have another branch of it where you have now the organization, the GMOs, that's what you call them, like Echo and so. What's the word for that? I can't remember. The GMOs, right?
Collecting agencies.
The collecting agencies. I think there's also a disconnect between those agencies, the promoters, and the artists. And so all around the table, education needs to be at the forefront of this drive that pace is on, and that is what we will do in the future, and that we are seeking to do.
Awesome. So earlier, DJ Flames made an appeal for persons to become registered with PACE. As Vice President, what is the process in becoming a member?
The process is very easy. You can go to the different locations that we have. And one comes to mind is IC Jewelers on Port Zanta. You can go, register your name. There's a form that you need to fill out, and pay your dues. It's just like any other NGO. You go, you register, and you sign up. It's not that difficult. You understand? And so when you do that now, you ensure yourself what it is that the NGO is trying to do for the industry, which is to educate, inform, get you in line with best business practices, and create that atmosphere of camaraderie and that atmosphere so that we can then lobby for what we need and put some structure. Because whether we like it or not, St. Kitts and Nevis lacks structure in the entertainment industry. And so, with the help of the government, the Ministry of Entertainment, along with PACE and any other organization who may wish to join us, because you can have a band association, you can have a DJ association. If all of us come together collectively and understands each other's role in entertainment and how we can couple that together to make the industry more robust and grow, you only gonna benefit all of us. The sugar cake gonna be sweet. Trust me.
You mentioned about the entertainment ministry. How do you feel about that, headed by Honorable Akila Byron Nisbet?
I love it. I absolutely love it. When I heard the Prime Minister announce it, if I wasn't this big, I would have backflipped. You know, because I was like, finally, after 20 years of being in entertainment, and finally after witnessing so much of government ministers come and go, and no real attention was being paid or even given attention to what entertainment is and what it does for our people. And even the politicians make use of it. You see, during the campaign, you have this and you have that, and then after that, okay, then fine, no problem. You're going to go back to doing what you're doing. So when that announcement was made, I was like, yes, finally, somebody's paying attention, and finally somebody is going to at least give an ear to the concerns that so much of us have had over the years, even those who have gone before us. And so when that announcement was made, I was happy to the highest. And when I saw the appointment of the minister who will head that ministry, I was kind of glad as well, because here is a young lady. Now, some might say that, well, she ain't nothing about entertainment, and she ain't an entertainment person, and she don't party, and she don't this. But you don't have to be that in order to have some kind of impact on entertainment. Because look at us as creatives. We don't like crowds. If we are not going out to work, you don't really find us out partying, you know. Our entertainment is more reserved. We probably sit in a corner with a glass of wine and just chill. So not being a party person is not something that could give you validity in terms of helping with entertainment. So I think that the minister will be open to our suggestions. She will take our suggestions into consideration because this is something new that is coming on stream, and I think that she will be more receptive, so to speak,
Yeah.
when it comes to giving an ear to us and trying to help us to achieve what we want to achieve. So she's young blood, and I congratulate her, and I'm looking forward to working with her definitely.
Awesome,
Nice.
awesome.
And DJ Flame, what about you?
Well, it's been years, my Facebook posts, I talk, I lobby, and when I heard that, I was like, wow, finally, finally. And even Amali reached out to me pertaining to trying to get, before you even name Pace, when he reached out to me trying to get, what I want to see in entertainment and stuff like that, I just, off the top of my head, start to give him different lists and different stuff that I want to see. Because at the end of the day, entertainment in any country that you go, any country, you're going to realize tourism and entertainment goes hand in hand. You cannot have tourism and how tourism this and your entertainment is thing. Working in the tourism industry now for 13 and a half years, the question used to ask at the casino, when the casino is closing at 4 a.m., where can we go to have a drink? Where can we go to hear some music? And the answer used to be always nowhere. At one time, this trip used to go 24 hours, but it's just like one spot, and that used to be Ziggy's back then. But you cannot be boosting tourism and pumping money into tourism and not pumping the same in entertainment. They supply, they breed life into each other. Because what you don't want, I mean, for example, when you go to any other Caribbean island and the cruise ship is overnighting, there's party up and down the strips and stuff like that. For example, Barbados, St. Lucia as well. So for me, when I heard that now, I said, okay, this is the opportunity now for every aspect of entertainment, or every person in entertainment to understand what is happening here. Don't think it's just all talk. Whatever you need to do to mobilize, as we always say, prepare yourself. Why I think 8 or 9 years ago I make sure though I get my business license, and 2 years ago I make sure that I get certified, and last year I make sure that I get, a CARICOM skill certificate in the same profession that I'm in as well, because I am thinking like, yo, one day it's gonna happen. And I couldn't get much people to move. I don't know if it's because how I come across or because I'm too passionate. In entertainment, people, misread or, I just don't like what I'm saying. But it was something wonderful. And Akila, she was in entertainment. I had a dance routine with her up ECCB back in the days when I was dancing for Vivashi as well. So she knows about entertainment. She was a dancer as well. So
Awesome. So I mean, with the formation of pace, and before I get into that, I'm glad you spoke about you did express that you're delighted that there's now a ministry of entertainment, because in the past you only had ministry of culture, and in my opinion that was broad. When I heard about the Ministry of Entertainment, it was a bit confusing because I wanted to understand the difference between the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of Entertainment. But after what you would have said, I realized that that ministry would focus specifically to entertainers, and so it provides an avenue for entertainers to develop themselves, to get you know, workshops, development, and so for themselves. But with PACE, the formation of PACE, would PACE act as, for example, you have ECCB acting as the head for the different banks across the Eastern Caribbean? Would PACE act as something similar to ECCB to the different entertainers? Because you have entertainers who they, for example, they have set prices for different gigs. Would Pace, I mean, once you become a member, of course, would Pace act as, provide some sort of guidance in terms of that?
Well, it will mostly be about education, and your price can only be determined by you. And the reason why I say that is because if you have something that you created from your own self, you must know the worth of that. You must understand what it is worth to you. If I feel like I did a painting of a drum set and it is worth $20, that's what it worth. That's what it's worth to me. Somebody might see it and say, well, it's worth more than that, and so I'm going to pay you $40. You understand? But where Pace and other entertainers who understand pricing would come in is that we can say to you, okay, the materials that you use to create that painting cost you this. The time that you invested in getting that painting done cost you this, right? And the creativity that you use into getting that done may cost you this. And so you can look to not only charging $20 because you're comfortable with it, but your painting is actually worth $200. And that might send a light bulb off in the person's head. And they can then say, okay, well, fine, I can sell it for that. So you can't just look at somebody and say, okay, they charge $20 for their painting. They're trying to undercut somebody else. No, it's because they did not get the kind of understanding and education that it takes to understand the price of producing something. Same with DJs. A DJ might decide to come out and do a 6-hour gig for just 250 because that's what he thinks he's worth. You understand? But if you can have a conversation with that DJ and say, look, you can charge a lot more than 250. I understand this is what you're comfortable with, but look at the hours that you are investing. Look at the amount of money that you spend getting your music, your catalog of music. Look at how long you have been DJing. You have been DJing for now 6, 10 years. That also has a price to it. Look at your social media platform. You have 2,000 followers, you have 10,000 followers. That too also has a price. So when somebody comes and book you, you can include that into your price as well, or you can negotiate. So there, to me, you cannot dictate to what someone's price will be, but you can educate them according as to how to go about pricing their product, so that in actuality, what you're doing is making the industry more viable, adding worth to the industry. So if you educate the people who are practicing, then you can add worth and value to that industry, and it only will be better for all of us. Because then people will have an understanding that you can't just go around and just try not change and do the work of creatives. They will understand coming in that this thing also has a value like the product. Because you can't walk up to any event and tell a promoter, okay, your event costs $100. I think I only want to pay 25. That promoter ain't gonna let you come in and get no which way now farm. You understand? Because the promoter understands what it takes to put on that event. He understands the cost of his entertainment that he had to pay, the cost to put in the infrastructure, stage and tent and sound system, to get security, people to clean up, add in bars and that kind of thing. So the promoter understands the cost of their product, and so they price it according. So too, entertainers and creatives must understand their product, what it took them to get that product produced, and what it actually costs, what it's worth. So at the footnote of all of this discussion has to be education. Education.
So speaking about education, what are some of the plans, or do you have any plans in the pipeline for educating artists in different aspects?
Well, definitely. This is one farm. So thank you guys for providing the platform. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but we intend to, as an organization, to have a general meeting with all the members that we have so far and those potential members to get their concerns, how we can assist them, and then we can put an action plan into place as to how to go about getting this thing done. Whether we have to speak to other NGOs in different territories, whether we have to speak to different organizations to get information as to how people can improve on their craft, improve on their creativity, the best business practices, you name it. So we are going to seek to facilitate what they can do by themselves. DJ Flames mentioned that he went and got certified. Sorry to be a DJ around the region, the CARICOM. How many DJs in St. Kitts and Nevis know that you can do that? Not very many. He probably went and did his research because he is investing in his craft. He wants to go to the next level. But you can't know what you don't know. And so, again, education. So we're going to seek to go, get the education, bring it back, give it to our people, get them up to scratch or up to par, as we say, so that we can then say, hey, our thing is in line. And so we can now demand or we can now command a little bit of respect because we now have validity to go with what we're asking of in the industry.
So as it relates to Pace's target audience, who are their target audience?
Everybody who is into creativity, everybody who is into the entertainment, everybody who is into providing services around entertainment. So him, him, that he provides sound system, engineering, as well as a little gospel every now and again, hallelujah. Musicians, dancers, mimes, that's what they call them. The people who dance in church with the mask over their face. Yeah, them there too. You understand? The Akolo cultural dancers, masquerades, Makajombi, you name it. Once it has to do with performing arts, visual arts, anything to do with creativity, painting, photography, you name it, we are going to be targeting those people. Promoters, no matter how big or small, once they are serious about their craft and they need a voice where we can then lobby on their behalf so that the government can actually put an infrastructure in place that would assist all of us. Them is who we want to get.
So as Devon said earlier, Pace is like an ECCB for entertainers. As you know, Tessa White is a promoter. Can she look to Pace for a DJ like you and DJ Flame? Can she relate to Pace?
In terms of what?
Can she contact Pace to say, I need AK for a function, like, I need DJ Flame for a function? Can she contact Pace?
Go ahead. Okay. No, I understand where she's coming from. Well, as I said, like an NGO is not really like a booking agent. They are actually governing to make sure that, I mean, like, it's the lockdown. Say, for example, we had an NGO in place. They could have go on behalf, just like how the Christian Council and the Angelic Association met with the Prime Minister to get the church open up and functioning and stuff like that. They, if we'd had an NGO in place long enough, they, like the president and the vice president could have sit with the government to actually lobby for us to start play, because I have like 5 cancellations since the country opened up, and those are money to pay bills. So pace itself is not really. A lot of people have been asking me that question as well. Can I sign up and then you guys gonna send us? And I said no, it's not a booking agency. That's what you call booking agents, which now is a good time. Now the entertainment industry and the entertainment ministry is farming for those person who can create a business as a booking agency where you can have artists, DJ, bands. I mean, I am on social media, for example, does get bookings for destination wedding and stuff like that. If you have a booking agent or you create a booking agency business, you can reach out regional, internationally and get artists and other people and stuff like that, and you make a commission and stuff like that. But pace in its capacity is not in that avenue. It's more to govern and ensure that we, the entertainers, don't get mistreated like how we get mistreated under this COVID-19.
So I hope in the near future we see both you guys putting together booking agents.
Well,
We can't do it all. We can't do it
that's
all.
something that I
Yeah.
sort of practice
Yeah.
from time to time, and especially during this COVID time. Something I must say that I have worked to make myself so diverse and marketable in entertainment that even though the lockdown was on, I was still working. I still had an income, and as soon as there was some form of daylight in terms of opening up, I also went straight back to work in terms of DJing. And it could have been a situation where I just sit down and shut up because I'm good. But there were colleagues of mine who weren't working. They weren't getting no form of income. They have families, they have friends, they have people who depend on them. And so how would it go down in history that I was in a position to say something and I did not? So I went on a drive, as I usually do, to go and create an atmosphere, create something over there so that I can then in turn get my other colleagues some form of work, which is what I did with with Weekends by Nevis. I went and created an atmosphere over there using my radio platform, my social media platform, and out of that, what I am going to do now, and I hope John don't kill me for this, but what I'm going to do now, he's the owner, is
He's my
try and
uncle.
usher in other DJs into that space and other entertainers to get them some form of income, some which way, shape or form. You know, reach out to other artists and musicians and see how I best I could more or less book them. You know, understand? So I have been in it so long that practically I feel like I'm on my way out. So I'm going to do what it takes now at this stage in my career to make sure that the people who are coming behind me have a space within this industry and also don't make the mistakes that I made and also to even practice better business practices than I did so that, you know, it can only raise the standard of the industry. Good? Rastafari.
Yes. So, Ike, any final words?
I would just like to say thanks to you guys for inviting me to this. I've looked at it a couple of times, and I must commend you guys as the host, doing an excellent job. You guys are very eloquent and thorough, and you know, thanks to the producers of the show. But what I would want to say to all creatives, entertainers, and service providers, don't take this pandemic as too much of a negative. Take it for what it really is. It was a time for us to stop, slow down, reassess, and reevaluate, and to chart a new course forward so that we can be better at what we do, so that the people around us can appreciate more what we do and pay us for it. And
DJ
I
play.
would just want to say be a part of PACE. We need your input in order to do what we need to do to get this industry, this entertainment industry, more robust, get it to a point where it can realize its true potential and provide another avenue where we as people of St. Kitts and Nevis can export our talents, export our creativity, and bring back home some of the money and make St. Kitts and Nevis a little richer. So we can be the envy of the entire Caribbean, not just only in tourism and in manufacturing and agriculture and all these other industries, but also in entertainment as well. Thanks.
DJ Flames.
Yeah, for me, it's always about respect. And we as entertainers got to understand that if you're just coming out, you don't have to go and attack EK or Sensia or Street Vibes because they're in the business longer than you guys just to get your foot in the door. And the other flip side now, those who are in the business a long time don't think that these guys, youngsters, are coming out trying to build themselves. We keep on saying, "Oh, they have to wait their turn. I did this, I did that, I got through that." No, the platform and the foundation built brick by brick, brick by brick. So if I get it from here, from the Ronnie Rascal, the DJ Yardy, and I leave it there, and I come on board, I supposed to add to it. So the next person come is supposed to be adding to these things. Entertainment, no matter how you look at it, no matter how small you think you are, how big you think you are, it's all about togetherness. All of us fill in the spaces to make sure that we have an entertainment industry. And the moment you're not thinking like that, we're going to be having issue trying to get it off the ground. As Ike said earlier, look at any other Caribbean island. What they're exporting, they're entertainers. They go out, they make the US, they come back in. We here in St. Kitts, we're doing good here. We need to start put things in place, proper practice, and showcase that St. Kitts don't have one or two bands. You got several bands, you got several DJs, you got several artists. And we'll come together and push it. And when the outer world say that, oh, we have a product to offer, because the product is not one thing or one person, it's everybody, then we're going to be start making those flights every week and every other weekend to bring home the sugar cake.
Awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had EK the Real Right and DJ Flames on Toolkit here, where we had a discussion about entertainment on lockdown. Stay tuned for segment 2. Welcome back to segment 2 of Toolkit Entertainment on Lockdown. We're here with Javian Barrett. He is the manager and the person that runs the affairs of a band from Nevis called New Wave Band. Javian, tell us about yourself.
My name is Javian Barrett. I'm 17 years of age. I'm from the island of Nevis. I was born in the United States, Texas to be exact, Wichita Falls, but I came here when I was very young. I've been playing music all my life since I have known myself. Since I came out of my mother's womb, I can recall knocking on stuff. I started well. Firstly, I'm a drummer, and then I started playing keyboard. But as far as drumming goes, I started drumming probably when I could control moving my arms. I started playing on needle cans, and for my first Christmas, also my mother bought me a drum set, well, a snare drum actually, and then I stepped in it and I burst it. So then I had the sticks, and then I continued playing on my needle pans until I got my first drum set. And then I progressed. I started playing drums in primary school. I played with the steepan along with Devon and Shamali as well. Played in steepan with them. And then I met with LL Karim, who plays for New Vibes Band. I met with him around first farm, and then a day he was playing with New Vibes, and then I asked him if I could come up on the trailer by him, and then he gets up to do something, and then I just find myself playing the drum and rhythm backing and stuff. And then someone decided to pull out a camera, and then for a while I went viral, well, kind of locally, regionally a bit, and then videos started circulating with me, and then I have played with hotel bands, including Eclectic Band, Greenhouse Band. I also played with Okola. I was part of the contingent that went to Barbados in 2017 as part of the Carifesta. So I've been around playing, oh, that was African drums, by the way, but I've been around playing music. I started playing keyboard about grade 3. I started taking music lessons and stuff. So, yeah, that's basically the musical journey so far.
Nice. And as you said, drum, you went viral playing the drum, but now in New Waves Band, you're playing the keyboard. Why?
Well, how that came about, I was I was added in a chat with some guys who actually make rhythms, and then I asked for the program that they used to make the rhythms. So then I got some stems and stuff from New Vibes, Collision, etc. And then I decided, well, I want to start a band. And then how that came about, I saw Roshan and Roko, the two singers for the band right now. I saw them performing at the school. So then I confronted them after, and I said, I want to start a band, and if you will be the singers. And then they what do I be excitedly took the opportunity, and they agreed to do it. And then we started. It was just me and them, me, the laptop and the keyboard, and then we started doing a little thing. And then in fifth form, I got the first little session at the school. It was after cross country. I did that little session. Play mostly New Vibes, Collision, the hits that people want to hear to capture the attention, to get people talking about New Wave Band. Javi, I have a band now. And then we started doing a couple school gigs. And then uh, August of last year, I traveled to the States, but the band stayed and they did their first stage show. That was Exam Purge last year. So my first um, gig with the band was actually the Link Promotions Fun Day. That was last year September, and then after that, they called us back for Link Promotions Scumpy's birthday bash. So the band has been doing a couple gigs and stuff. Since that last week we are on Black, and this week we're on Toolkit.
Awesome,
Nice.
awesome. So how long has the band been going for?
Roughly, this is 2020, so it hasn't made 2 years yet. But you could say, cause they did the performance for Independence, for the Independence concert at the school, so I would have confronted them after that. So it would have been, the band probably would have started October around there in 2018.
And Javin, how is it like being the band leader? I mean, how many members do you have, and do you find it challenging managing the affairs of the band and your personal life?
Not really, because music is my personal life actually. I can't picture myself not doing music. So um, you can't mix business with personal, but I still find like the music aspect, part of my personal life. But managing the band, yes, it's hectic at times because all of us are at the same age, basically. Well, most of us are at the same age, so it's kind of hard telling someone the same age as you something, and then they adhere to it at one time. But um, it's a bit challenging at times, but the guys make it easy for me. So big up to the guys then.
Nice. And I would like to know who came up with the name New Wave Band.
Well, it was actually me. I was washing dishes with my mother, and I was asking her, what should I call it band? And she suggested Positive Vibes. Well, then I say, uh, Positive Vibes is not really stinging, it's not that stinging name. So, um, as we were washing the dishes, I splashed up the water and I said, Wave. And then I said, New Wave. And then that's why I said, Mommy, that's the name for the band, New Wave Band.
Awesome,
That
awesome.
is lovely.
So, how is it? How have you guys been coping? With COVID-19, the pandemic, the lockdowns. As this discussion is about entertainment on lockdown, how have you guys been coping with that?
Well, actually, we have tried to put in as much practice as possible. As soon as we were able to go to practice, the first Friday that we could have moved around a little brisk, actually scheduled practice, and then the guys turned up. We saw the faults and everything, and we decided, this is what we're gonna work on going forward. And the guys adhere to the instructions, and they went home, they practiced, and then the practice sessions after that, when we come together as a group, it's been going pretty well so far.
Nice. And most of you guys are from CSS. So how was the support from CSS?
Well, this support actually has been lovely. It's mixed emotions actually because some people try to bring down the thing, but the majority of persons, they encourage me. After the performance last week, I got a lot of messages saying that they like how the band's sounding and everything, and keep it up and so. But um, people always try to fight down others when they see people elevating, but yeah, we're not focusing on that. We focus on the good.
Nice
Awesome.
and congrats.
And as you spoke about, people trying to, I mean, not wanting to see you progress. I'm sure the band would have had some achievements during your short stint. What are some of those achievements?
Well, the achievements actually are actually getting the gigs because not much people know of the band. It's very hard to you for us, sorry, to ask somebody and say, I hear you're having an event, what I mean, can you let us play? And then because we don't have much, we don't have like system and stuff, so then they have to provide system and so the achievements of the band is actually, getting playing time. That's the most important thing right now, developing our craft, getting playing time, as much playing time as possible, as much exposure. So the achievements so far, well, the biggest gig I think would be Black because when I checked the views on it, it had like 13,000 views. So that's one of the achievements of the band, getting on that show and yeah, showing off.
Awesome. And my last question is, I mean, what type of music do you guys focus on? I know you guys play soca,
So
but do you have any plans to venture out into different genres of music?
yes, actually, I try to encourage the guys, I tell them when we produce not this first album, well, that's a hint, we have an album coming, but not this first album, but probably the next album, we try to have a reggae song on it. Other type of music that would capture other audiences, you know. Even if we're not going to go out and play all reggae music in a night or, play all R&B soul tracks in a night, at least have that music that the people who don't generally listen to soca can listen to. So we have a reggae track, we have a rap track, we have a song and then it break down into a rap. Anything is possible when it comes to music because we're in the times where anything is possible. So yeah, anything is possible right now.
Okay, and my last question is, as most Nigerians know that your parents are of the Christian life, how is it? Are they supporting your profession?
Yes, they are very supportive of it. Actually, my father. He always supports me. My grandfather, he always supports me. My mother, she always supports me. You know, she bought my keyboard. Well, my mother and my father bought my keyboard. She even gave me the laptop that I'm using right now. So, yeah, they support me. You know, they don't they don't hold me back when it comes to music. Of course, they would want me to, be playing in the church and all that, but they don't hold me back once it comes to music. So that's a plus for me.
So, Javian, before we close, do you have any advice for persons who aspire to be involved in any band or entertainment?
Yes. A keyword you will always hear once you seek information is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Stay in your band house and practice. Perfect your craft. Because, I mean, it's all fun and games until you go on a gig and then the gig don't come off how you want it to, and then it slows the progress of the band because now people, they hear the band and they say, you know. But practice, 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 practice,
Nice.
practice.
Awesome. So, guys, we had Javian Barrett, the band leader of New Wave, but stay tuned as they're going to have a wonderful performance after.
So before we go into the band, we would like to thank you for watching on behalf of SKN Unchained and Caribbean Marketing Solution, and of course Toolkit. Thank you, and thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We got the toolkit massive one time. We got the toolkit. Yeah. One time. Yeah. We don't know, we got the people on the line right now, we know. We don't know, we got the mother one time. We got all the supporters. All the supporters there. Bambadi bambadi. We got the world. Don't forget we got Seth. One time. We got Davis. Yeah, the youth of the shine, bringing culture alive. Yeah, we are gonna show them all how we can do. Coming on the rise, no culture for the fight. Yeah, we have to show them we belong here to move the way from the rise. That we get so much pride. Yeah, we have to show them what the youth can do. We are say a good night to everyone in the life. Yeah. And time for the girl left the jar roll. Squeeze it, no man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Check, 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 check. What? Yeah. Take oh. Show them you in control. What? Oh gosh. Tell me what you doing. Tell me how you living, baby. This is not a movie. What? Live your life and you could take it slow. Take it slow. Oh. Watch out. Oh, girl. What? You will get excited and oh, girl. It's gonna be hard to fight you, baby. Let me try to pull you down, but I know you are strong. Yeah, you're a beautiful lady. You're a queen every day. Yeah, don't make a thing that makes it. Don't go looking for a taste. No, I just want to see you shine. Just show me you light. You gon' be alright. And everybody in the daga. What? And she want it full of water. She have a child like she drop my water. And she ready to risk it. All. And you can't pay your bills no at all. Laugh tonight and cry in the morning. Oh God, that's all I'm saying. Careful what you doing. Careful how you living, baby. This is not a... Live your life as you could take it slow. Yeah. Hey, I'll be everybody here right now. Yeah. What? How you living, baby? Yeah. You will get excited, baby. Let me try to pull you down, but I know you are strong. Yeah. You're a beautiful lady. You're a queen every day, yeah. Don't make a thing damage. Don't go looking for a taste, no. I just want to see you shine. Just show me your light. You gon' be alright. Everybody everybody hear me, and everybody hear me. Daga daga, daga daga, and she balling all her father. She have a child and she can't find water. And she ready to risk it, to risk it. All, and you can't play. Drinks no matter all. Laugh tonight and cry in the morning. Oh God, that's all I'm saying. Let me kill. Watch it up. They talk to the sexy gal about them, the prettiest gal, the ugly gal, everybody. Bubble up your waistline, baby. Girl, let us take my crazy talk. I'm just a rock piece of hearted. Gonna make a on a ride like the audio. I make you bubble to the waistline, baby. The Hennessy I eat until I wear it up. And she a move like a garden. Let me take it on a ride. Real like that, make your eyebrows. I'm in the air, it's a look like man. Yeah. Body of the seat, come on, I'm that I want to tell you. I'm the quality of shit I had it. And if you want to put it in a body, very easy. My temper, like a pebble. Wow. Strap it up again, you love me when you talk back way. Even the part of that, yeah. Turn it up, hey, watch it up. I tell you what, man. Me can't tell she what she want. It's only one, take time. Bubble up your waistline, baby. Girl, it's a time and crazy job. Come on, I can leave you practice. Girl, let me take it on a ride like the audio. Bubble up your waistline, baby. The Hennessy I eat until I wear it up. And she a move like a garden. Right. Wow. Yeah. You don't know, big everybody what they one time. We got me more than one time. We got everybody who watch that thing, you know. Everybody. You don't know, big up the whole team. Toolkit. You give me something I need. You give me something I please. Yeah, I please. Something I great for. I really need you too. I really wanna feel great now. So let me have my way now. No one ever gonna leave, God. I'm so interested in you. Cause I really feel like every time I saw a rain on a body like this. And I cannot delay, it's not gonna delay you. Not even nobody like you, so me tell you, I see it time goes, I never wanna talk, cause I wanna let you know that I was over. Not even nobody like you, make she mad, long time, make she mad, long time, because pressure to me, pressure to me. Very special, very special. Because special to me, very special, very special. And the sunlight and the rain fall like in the daytime and the night come and the show now how to come back. Please don't fall out, don't be my heart. And the moon out and the sunshine, put the hands out, just a function. Go to the point out, go to the full stop, feel the laughing, and the laughter. See, I really feel like I'm better than alright. And nobody like this, and nobody like you. If you ain't nobody like you, so what you say? I think it's time goes, so I never wanna talk, but I wanna let them, then I know it's over. If you ain't nobody like you, take you all long time, but you, long time, but you, take you all long time, but you, long time, but you, because pressure to me, pressure to me. Very special, very special. Because pressure to me, very special, very special. And the sunlight and the real part. Wow. Hey, I really got sweet enough. What do you get that about this? Yeah, your hands, you watch you know? Hey, you know. Show me you got that, walk you got that, walk for that, yeah. Hey, you're a hot girl, you know fat girl, you're a good girl. Show me you got that, walk you got that, walk for that, yeah. Girl rolling, girl rolling, girl roll that thing, girl rolling, girl roll that thing, girl rolling, girl roll that thing, girl rolling, rolling up, girl rolling, rock you, girl rolling, girl a hot girl, you know fat girl, girl a good girl, show me you got girl, walk you got girl, walk for that girl. Girl a hot girl, you know fat girl, girl a good girl, show me you got girl, walk you got girl, walk for that. Yeah, we know, yeah, we know. Ooh. What? The bubble up the waistline, baby. Yeah. The bubble up the let me hear I drop, let me hear I drop. Ooh, yeah. What? Ladies, I'm the bubble up the waistline, baby. Yeah, this is each other the way to the I see a move like a goddess. You take it for a ride. Feel like I'm in your eye drop. What? I'm in here to the climax. Yeah. Body of his ears, never the fuck again. I don't want to be easy. I should have had an airy. I knew you want to be in a body, baby. Why you have a girl like that, girl? If you wish it, you can come again. They love you when you come back. You put them on top there, yeah. Body was dead, yeah. I tell them come back, she can't take you on the yacht. What? So if you want, take time, man. You say, what me love the way I'm trying, baby. Girl, it goes on time and crazy, so the man I can need to practice. Gonna make it up on a red like you know the young. You say, what me love the way I'm trying, baby. And you see it, it's a killer way to look. Yeah. I should have moved like a goddess. Right. Oh, is that you? Can't believe that is you. See ya, give me a wine, girl. Give me a wine, girl. Give me the wine that I want long time, yeah. So like I see ya, give me a wine, girl. Give me a wine, girl. I never got the all this time, man. But just the all this time, yeah. Hey, look cool. You know how long we already see you. You could have been both a year or two. Only thing from what we go do. Hey, long time. You know I be just a wine. Yeah, new time. Girl, you looking for. I thought you hiding. We don't think that's happy now. What? We don't think that's happy now. Look at me and the boss leave you. I don't know when we broke up again. So let me take a little thing again. So like I see you. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, what you want. Long time, yeah. So like I see you. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, yeah. But just all this time, yeah. It was just last week when I called your name. I got that to friends and them. So long I ain't talk to you. For long I ain't talk to you. I know you was late on time. You know you was here tonight. It look like you doing alright. Got money running there. I thought you hiding. I thought you were foreign. Look how things they happy now. Look how things they happy now. So let me have a man squeeze you. Leave you. I don't know when we bounce up again. So let me take a walk. So long I see you. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, what you want. Long time, yeah. See you. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, yeah. Give me your one, what you want. But you have to all this time, yeah. Hey, she give me something, you know. Yeah. Girl, give me something, girl. What? Yeah, big up, girl. Big up new body. Yeah. Yeah, big up Toolkit, you know. You give me something I need. Something I need. Something I need. Something I need. Something I need, but I really need you too. I really wanna feel way now. So let me have my way now. Don't want to go on. Never. Can I really be a wind up with a mess right on my body like this and I'm gonna delay this and I'm gonna like you. Nothing with nobody like you. So let me tell you, I said me sing it like you. I never wanna stop because I want to little. Then I love is over. Nothing with nobody like you. Make she ball. Oh. Long time overdue. Long time overdue. Make she ball. Long time overdue. Long time overdue. The girl pressure to me, yeah. Pressure to me, yeah. Very special. I tell you that. Very special. the sunlight and the rain fall. And the daytime and the night come. And the show now how to come back. Please don't follow. Close in my heart and the moon now. And the station. Give me a now. But the road now. So don't go stop. Till the last thing and the last one. I really feel up in the middle of something right now. And nobody like this and nobody like you. Not even nobody like you. So me tell them. I saw me singing time girls. I never wanna stop. Cause I wanna let you. That I love you so more. Not even nobody like you. Make she ball out. Love time. But you. Love time. But you. Make she ball out. Love time. But you. Love time. But you. Because special to me. Special to me. Very special. Very special. Because special to me. Very special. Very special. Here it is, no man. Hey. Just like it. Just like it. Just hey. What's so like it, you know? Hey, this girl here going on crazy. Watch it, no. Drop this rhythm, no man. But them get some. Come clean. Wow. Hey. What the girl there? But hey, nothing like it. Hey, don't keep it. Don't keep it.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't keep it.
Nothing.
Don't keep it. Hey, you done a big up toolkit, you know. Open interactive. Yeah. Watch out, man. Tell your hot girl, you know fat girl. Tell your good girl, show me your fat girl. Walk on that girl, walk it in, girl. Ladies, tell your hot girl, you know fat girl. Tell your good girl, show me your fat girl. Walk it that girl, walk on that girl. Girl rolling, girl rolling, girl rolling. Girl I roll like this. Girl I roll like this. Girl rolling, girl I roll like this. Girl rolling, girl I roll like this. Girl rolling, watch your rolling, watch it, watch it. Hey, girl a fat girl, you know. Girl a good girl, show me your fat girl. Walk the fat girl, walk on that girl. Girl a hot girl, you know fat girl. Girl a good girl, show me your fat girl. Walk the fat girl, walk on that girl. Girl rolling, girl I roll like this. Girl rolling, girl I roll like this. Girl rolling, girl I roll like this. Girl roll like this, girl I wind that thing. Girl I roll like this, girl I wind that. Girl I rock to pop buckler. Wow. Girl a, hey, you don't know. You don't know, big up to the back, you know. Big up Toolkit one time again. What? They got a tip for your sweat. What? Yeah. Don't get me done. Me Mexican be the Panagana. Everything's strict through their policy. After I don't know. She can't call me. After me no idiot, yeah. After me no idiot, yeah. She better know herself. After certain time, no girl can do it. Don't call me vote unless you want 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 it. Yeah, sit down on it. Yeah, sit down, sit down, sit down. Yeah, sit down. Sit down on it. Yeah, sit down, sit down, sit down. Yeah, sit down. Straight it up, yeah. Yeah, straight it up, yeah, straight it up. Sit down on it. Don't call me vote unless you want 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 it. Yeah, sit down. Sit down on it. Yeah, sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Watch it. Yeah, sit down. Sit down, sit down, sit down on it. Check your time, check your time. Yeah, sit down. Check your time, sit down on it. Yeah. Hey, hey, slap it, slap the arm, slap it. Oh, watching you.
Trouble party boy. I feel the girl that want freak, you know. They want a freak.
Hey, she want a freaky style, you know. She want a freaky style, you know. Hey,
Don't
that's
forget
what
the
we wear the sharp on the check. I wear the sharp on. I wear the sharp on. They want to put myself to take it down. I'm going to wear a lamp on. I want to take it down right away. I'm ready, guys. I'm ready. What? Got me ready. What? Shanana. Mama. So she want it. She like to freaky. She like to freaky. What? You like trouble people? And that's how you gonna get. What? Lady. I beat you again. I say you want it. You gon' get it. Girl, you gon' get it.
What color jazz boy? Hey, Sam, what color she got on?
Me no color that she got
What color
on.
she got on?
Me no color. I
What color
want
she
see.
got on?
I want see.
Wait, tell her.
I want see.
I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see.
I want to see.
I want to see.
I want to see.
Hey, yes, it's showing you.
What?
Rock on that. Address. You got that. Rock on that. Address. You got that. Hey, hey, rock on that. Address. You got that. Rock on that. Address. You got that. Is it all red?
Is it all red?
Is it all green?
Is it all green?
Is it all black?
Is it all black?
Is it all white?
Why?
Is it all red?
Is it all red?
Is it all green?
Is it all green?
Is it all black?
Is it all black?
Is it all white?
Why?
I want to see. I want to see.
Let me look now.
I want to see.
Turn over, turn over.
Yeah, over. I want to see.
Hey, print it.
I want to see.
The print it.
Oh, hey, she shine a red drive by.
Yeah.
Dash it down to jump.
What?
Walk on that. Address. You got that. 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 Is it all red?
Is it all red?
Is it all green?
Is it all green?
Is it all black?
Is it all black?
Is it all white?
Why?
Is it all red?
Is it all red?
Is it all green?
Is it all green?
Is it all black?
Is it all black?
Is it all white?
Why?
What?
Wait for you know. What do you wait for them? Hey. Show them girl you that you come first. Show them girl you not no side chick. Girl, you come first. You got your own man.
Hey. No girl can take your place. I'll make sure of that.
Ooh,
What do I feel up there now?
Ooh, you
Hey.
do it.
No girl can do that.
Ooh, girl. Ooh.
Cause you were there when nobody was in the band. And I didn't have to be wrong. And never mind I wasn't calling before. Yeah. Long before I did that I hit. You wasn't taking all them shit. And you never skip because you are the wife. The wife. Yeah, we carry don't carry. It's you and everything. You are the wife. The wife. Put your hands up. Everything say you know you is the wife. You come first. Raise your hand and show them it's you who come first. No girl can make you ashamed. I know that for sure. No kind of girl that will section. Hey, some respect on your name. Can't come by your door. Cause you were there. When every time down to the last, you will tell me that you will pass. Doesn't
need to done because hey, them girl can't go. Hey, them girl are gonna mash up themselves to this video, you know. Hey, Javi, lick it in, man.
Oh, shit,
Hey,
Johnny
them
Dog.
girl, them girl, them girl, them girl,
Ladies, are you who run the world? You got everything in control. Ladies, are you who run the world? You got everything in control. Got it for the thing, 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 get up on the tip, get up on the tip, got it for the thing, 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 get up on the tip. Rub off, hey. Are you who run the world? You got everything in control. Are you who run the world? You got everything in control. You're the man. You're about to do. You're about to do. You're the funny thing. You're the funny thing. You're the funny thing. You're the funny thing. You're about to do. You're about to do. I too much, girl. I'm bubbling. Bend down, girl. Go bubbling. Look back, girl. Go bubbling. You want the dance, you want the feeling. You want to watch, you want bubbling that. Watch it, girl. I'm bubbling. Watch it, bubble. You come to me, she want to the left. I'm bubbling to the left. She want to watch, you want bubbling that. Watch it, girl. I'm bubbling. Watch it, bubble. You come to me. I too much, girl. I'm bubbling. Bend down, girl. Go bubbling. Look back, girl. Go bubbling. You want the dance, you want the jumping. I too much, girl. I'm bubbling. Bend down, girl. I'm bubbling. Look back, girl. You want the dance, you want the jumping. What the girl get back? Watch it, girl. I'm bubbling. Watch it, bubble. You come to me. I'm bubbling to the left. I'm bubbling to the right. Hard, right. Watch it, girl. I'm bubbling. Watch it, bubble. You come to me. I'm bubbling. Watch it, watch it. Bend down, girl. I'm bubbling. What? You want the dance, you want the jumping. Watch it, watch, girl. I'm bubbling. Bend down, girl. I'm bubbling. You want the dance, you want the jumping. Sweet little darling girl, sweet little darling girl, you run down the path, you dance silly girl. What? No time to complain, you're the silly girl. Double joke. Sweet little darling girl, sweet little darling girl, you run and rock and you want silly girl. I'm with you, with you, something you're the silly girl. Double trouble. When the girl them for wine and a bubble, they just a bubble. Double trouble. When the girl them for wine and a bubble, they just a bubble. And the girl them a chupa girl, a bubble. Bend down girl, a bubble. Girl bubble, you want to dance and you have to bubble. A chupa girl, a bubble. Bend down girl, a bubble. You want to dance and you have to bubble.
What? Hey. Man, shake it up the laughter behind there, boy. What?
What? Hey, session point enough. Session point. Session point.
Yeah.
Hey, mama. Come on.
Hey, no, I big up Toolkit one time, you know.
One time.
Yeah.
Hey, no, Toolkit.
Yeah, me love the people, you know. Me love the people in Panny Live. Me love everybody. You know, big up Saint, big up Nevis.
Me not pick out. Hey, yo, Shamali.
Big up the world.